welcome back. The goal of this video is to take a look at the business model process in the online business course and apply that practically on Streetchef. Right, so by now you should know that your business model consists of lead generation, lead conversion, lead satisfaction and lead retention. Ntando, from your side, how does Streetchef go through this business model?
Okay, well, how we generate leads is through social media, as well as an option or a channel we are looking at as well is on food websites as well as food blogs. But currently the one we're really focusing on primarily is through social media ads. And then how we would convert the ads, that once we get them from social media onto our platform, that's when the sales process starts. From the moment they get onto our platform, they must know what our platform is about and they must know how they can get value from our platform, which is a meal. And then with the satisfying part, that would then entail, once they get their food, they would be able to rate the food and say, this is what my service was. My food tasted well. I enjoyed it. It was in nice packaging. And then from a retention point of view, one thing we are looking at is to ensure that people keep on coming back, because again, you mentioned it's a very competitive space in the market, and going into the market, we one of the smaller players at this moment in time. So one thing we've looked at, which has worked for other our competitors, is the discount option. So for example, every time you've placed an order or 5 orders, your 6th one or your 7th one would be at an X amount discount. So that's one approach we are looking at to ensure that people, once they've placed X amount of orders, they'll always look to come back until they get to that place and they get a discount. So those are the ways we've looked at in terms of that aspect of the business model.
Sounds good. That's a pretty solid business model right there. I want to touch on one additional thing in the business model, which is your sales cycle. So when we look at the sales cycle, we obviously bring in the business strategy into the sales cycle. So we mentioned that the value proposition is, the focus is home cooked meals. The need is that people need to eat. It's a healthier option than, let's say, to take a takeaways option from one of the big franchises that sells quick takeaways. So if we just take the value proposition and we apply it onto your branding, your marketing and your sales, the trigger words are, what would you say?
Home cooked meal.
Home cooked meal, healthier meal, community. Right, so this is the selling process practically. You got to take what's going to really sell for your market and you got to implement it into your branding, into your marketing, into your sales process. And interesting, because this is a tech and it's an automated platform, the sale is actually the platform. The platform becomes the salesperson. So there's not going to be a physical sales pitch that somebody's going to pick up the phone and make a sale like in other business models. The sale principles need to be implemented on the platform, which is very interesting. I would like to see that when it's ready. And then also in your operations, service delivery, bring in the trigger words, because the trigger words is going to create a certain perception that's going to result in retention, getting people to come back. So that's how you apply the business strategy into your business model to make sure that it's a selling process all the way through. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense for you?
It makes sense.
Excellent. I'll see you in the next video.